All right. So we beat the main story, the base story. Now, now we are supposed to So with that done, we now can begin the other story. Take the sector elevator to the investigation sector. This is the Alan Wake stuff that we're about to do. Wait, we didn't watch this yesterday. We wanted to save it here.
Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle. Trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
I like how it's dive suit. Should we mock someone? Um, no, I'll be a civilian this time. Nah, hang on. Still like that outfit. I like the director's suit. You know what? No, I'm the director. Not right now.
Give 'em hell, Director.
There's a new one now. The thing is, that was never there before. Which means this place has been added. Oh, I hate it.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Missing agent.
It's a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
What was it? Missing agents. Mr. Kirklord. Here are latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor, Researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. So, a tractor. Miscommunication led to the local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow what? Mayo Communication. Case summary. 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report. Remains obtained from coroner's office also include blood, urine, bowel, stomach, tendons, and bone fragments. Blunt force injuries, head, lacerations, left ear, cheek, nose distillation, right knee, complete ovulation of the right upper extremity with associated fracture, complete ovulation of multiple organs, including stomach artery. All missing from scenes. Whoa. Conclusion: it is my opinion that Mr. Butler's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Are you sure it wasn't the tractor? Registration. To whom it may concern some of 2019. It is great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's redacted. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our redacted who have routinely ignored my request for assistance and were claiming the parts of the education sector lost to the redacted loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. The director? Now we have a new. Okay, so there's a fire break here? Yep, there's a fire break. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis. So, yes, there's an increase in AWE cases. And yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, well, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the one who left for other departments after Kirklord quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just following the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless. And as Kirklord's interim replacement, it is your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Sounds like the investigation sector is sounding really bad. Now it just seems like there's no one here. What's this? Darling's investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirklord, internal investigation was lodged into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous Redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a redacted currently housed in the Bureau. Our official findings regarding were inclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of redacted sector personnel seemed seemed to be wholly unaware of such redacted container. One redacted confirmed the redacted's codename to be redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were simply blocked from entering the redacted research ring to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any changes against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into research. Dimensional research? Or investigation? Casey inquiry. Dr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake, per an interagency information exchange agreement. I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this quest from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character at Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give him the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy, Special Investigator Gleason. So somebody claiming to be Alex Casey, working for the FBI, requested all the files from Bright Falls about Alan Wake, considering the fact that Alex Casey is the fictional detective of Alan Wake's books. Yeah, that instantly should raise red flags with people. With this entire department. Like, everybody should be kind of freaking out about that, but it seems like Cauldron Lake update. The chief investigator, Dennis. It happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our redacted. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list is recurring problems. Is the staff at the lake house research station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Cauldron Lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their information with investigation agents. It's only a matter of time before this shit hits this redacted hits again. I was gonna say shit hits again. And I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent. So it seems once again we're in that situation where two sectors, like two different teams, just won't work together. It's like they won't actually work together. They just keep like one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. which is Director Investigation. Were authorized by Mr. Kirkland. Redacted was launched into the Redacted of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in Redacted witnessing Director Trench, including aggressive redacted when redacted with other staff, have been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest they're arguing it's centered around the Dimensional Research Wing and the redacted kept there. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any redacted and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Yeah, but we kind of already know what happened to Trench. He was the first to be affected by the hiss. The thing is, he did everything he could, essentially, to well, kinda. He knew something was wrong, but the thing is, like, it was too late and it had already taken hold. And Dr. Darling must have found out. Well, he did find out in the end that Trench was the first. He let the hiss in with the slide projector. Trench, official warning. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your hints at my doorsteps. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. Its failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen? Holding a dangerous specimen in investigations. The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admiredly taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. I don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You're a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. You can tell. You can tell it's already affecting him. The hiss has already burrowed deep enough to change his words. You are a worm. Um, the truth will emerge out of you. You don't want to be. Those are three things that are said in the incantation of everybody that is affected by the hiss. So, yeah. Like, Kirklord had a right to be suspicious about Trench. Ah, there's the shaded faucet. Underhill background. Dr. Rana Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabiologist botanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the borough. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Okay. Yeah. Shaded faucet or facet. Anything else up here? Like I said, I want to try and get. We got to get all the information in this place. And this place, I think, is huge. If I'm right, it's just dark, like super dark. I think
Hmm. It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Keystone Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman slash Mor Morels desertion issue. We didn't find any signs of them here. Given their records, it is possible they switched teams like you suspected. But I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone. I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the ordinary case. But that was just the adults. If I'm remembering the file correctly, this is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it wasn't AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. Two overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keystone, huh? Two circles, two circles with with a dot in the same space. Haven't we seen that door? Isn't it have an epic investigation? Her authorization for Mr. Kirkland internal investigation was launched on the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic redacted and redacted. Redacted were brought into the old house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic redacted of paranaturally inclined redacted. Not only is this a breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human redacted. This investigation team unequivocally redacted the prime candidate program and recommend that it be terminated immediately. I'm gonna guess that word is terminated because they think that it's wrong. It was the prime candidate program was just practically evil. The tractor procedures. Item is not in borough custody. None known. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls, an unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burroughs, owner of the Burrow farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burroughs beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panic calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau Communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the items are ongoing. Speaking to Miss Burroughs only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected are currently unknown. Look, in Alan Wake, you fight a tractor, okay? And it was not a fun time. I'm sorry to say.
There. Now that gate should open.
There's a lot of reading in this right now. Specimen escape assessment. The purpose of internal investigation X39-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 resulted in the deaths of redacted agents. And the inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the redacted of redacted, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive redacted. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed. An hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice, redacted, Alice Wake, re-entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connection to the same WWE case, it is likely that Miss Alice's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the redacted investigation is ongoing. But I just noticed they say Miss Alice MRS, which means she still claims to be married to Alan. She's still officially married to Alan. It seems she never got a divorce.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Look, I'm not a genius or anything. Far from it, but something's wrong in this place. It's a blessed organization. This group as an individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Bless Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit supernatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Bless Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case. No one else even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. What is the Blessed? Is it a cult? It's always a cult, right? It's always a cult. Hang on a second. Oops. Sorry. Like I said, a lot of reading. A light switch. Danger, do not open. Sealed area.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to. I've forgotten it.
That's why I kept going to the door.
My name is Alan Wake.
Hey, Ashposh. It's going great.
Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's
I've beaten this before.
The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role, a character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration.
That doesn't feel right, though.
You need a drink.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding.
You found a way.
No. I don't. Wait. There's something. It's my double.
No.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm streaming this for to learn about Alan Wake 2 that's coming in a week.
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
Hmm.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Oh.
And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
No, you're remembering it right. He was anything. Really. I'm a variety streamer. I don't focus on just one game. By the way, they said something about this symbol. I'm not sure what it is. Ah. Almost every day? Stop that. That big sheep. That's the key. I guess I'm taking the key. I guess.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could.
Nah.
Roaming,
I guess the long-term goal would be just have fun.
a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
He's fine.
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake.
There it is.
Devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC, brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Oh. So Hartman became a Taken, and now the Hiss has merged with him. Miami, New York. Let's see, let America. International service. It is dark. Oh. Contracts. Oh, I only need. I need 2 more. Okay. Where do I get shifting fragments from? Whoops. The sword? No.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
Into 325. I'm just gonna make sure I don't. Filing process.
That doesn't look like a house shift.
Um.
Even want to know?
What's happening? It's not like it's not duplicating or making copies. Seems. It just. Yeah, it's not making copies. It's kind of like it's multiplying and then disappearing. Kind of. Yeah, see how it breaks down in the end? It's like, what is this? Well, alright, I guess we're doing this. They are a lot more powerful here. Oddly enough.
Of course, the Hiss are already in here.
Confiscate. Confiscated move. Alright, we got a lot to look over. I guess we start with this. Hartman arrest. Emil Hartman. Wake. Victims' names. Wake Allen. Alan Wake. Tor Anderson. Odin Anderson. Alex Wake, probably. Lamb Rudolph. Diesel. Wendy Emerson. Thomas. Redacted. Dennis. Officer names. Dennis. Special Agency Remedy. Kidnapping of altered individuals, sanctions against altered organizations, obstruction of Bureau investigation, breaching of Ash Act. Offenders' property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offenders' personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, due to their senility and Wake possibly deceased. So they got Hartman. So they were gonna arrest Hartman, but then he jumped in the lake pretty much. Oh, can't go that way. Oh, can't go in there. There it is. What up? Ah, anyway. Oh, I don't want a box, I want a door. I don't want stuff, I wanted lore. Give me a page. So run through this again. Okay, nothing here. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. What? What? Service time.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Looks like we have gotten out of hand. There we go. I guess I can't go that way. The service tunnel.
This darkness is blocking the door.
Yeah, I fucking.
Now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows. Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Oh boy. Alright, hang on a second. I gotta answer a phone call.